What's up, everyone? Execution Double Nine here, hitting the sticks with Diablo 4. I've been doing quite a bit of work on my Necromancer to change him up a little bit, try to focus my build a little bit, and I've finally been able to get through some Ancestral dungeons. So, little recap on what it is that I've done is I changed my Paragon board. I went ahead and basically respec the whole thing. So I went back to Cult Leader here as my first board. And as you can see, except for one over here, which I haven't gotten to yet, I have gone through all of the rare nodes. So over here, I have Armor Clad, 8% minion armor, 10% minion life, 34% mage damage, 16% Skeletal Mage is resistant to all elements. Over here, I got 20% minion damage, 5% minion attack speed. Right here, 20% minion damage, 10% intelligence. And then over here, 20% damage reduction for minions, 10% intelligence. And then I went ahead and put my Golem glyph right in here. It's all fully specced out, and as you can see, all of my rare nodes are also fully enhanced. I have all of my stat requirements, and what I have noticed in doing this is my minions have survivability now. They're still not amazing, of course, but they have much more survivability, and dealing some damage and everything. So this has actually been working for me. The other thing is also I just got to take advantage of the game mechanics that are there, and taking advantage of the actual glyphs that I have, and being selective about which glyphs that I run. So I've kept these here, the 22 and the 23. I've actually done a 22. I've done a couple 21s. I've done a 22, been able to solo them. So I'm hanging on to the 22s here. Probably by level, I should probably still be doing 21s. But if I can clear it, I can clear it. So I'm trying to be, of course, more mindful of which sigils I'm using as well, dusting the ones that I don't like, keeping the ones that I think that I can work with. So here, let's see, lightning damage. I get lightning damage. Okay, great, not a big deal. Volcanic, while in combat, gouts of flame periodically erupt near players. That one doesn't bother me too much. Monster fire damage doesn't bother me too much. Monster bleed resist. I don't do bleed damage, so I'm not worried about that. Barrier breakers, I do get barriers, so that kind of sucks, but whatever. It's not that big of a deal, I don't think. And then over here, shadow damage, I do shadow damage. That's good because I actually do shadow damage. Empowered elites for suppressor. I don't really like the suppressor affix, but it's not enough for me to dust it. Monster burning damage. Not really a big deal for me. Monster regen, I haven't really experienced this one yet, so I don't know how that one will work, but 1.5% maximum life. It's non-boss monsters, unless it's like super like big champions and elites and stuff. Everything's gonna die too fast anyways. And then dodge breakers, I'm not really too worried about that one. So I think these are two sigils I'm gonna hang on to, see what I can do with it. And then also been working on gearing up, upgrading all of my gear. As you can see, I got everything upgraded now to 5 stars, and I've actually replaced some items as well. So I have actually a different scythe here. Unyielding Commander's Dragon Spine. It's item power 747 with an extra 25 upgraded item power. 78 all stats, 165 intelligence. Those are the big affixes why I chose this weapon here. And then damage to close enemies. Since I'm always jumping into the mix with my Blood Surge, I think this is a good benefit. It's about a mid-roll. Could have been better, but I'll take it. And then 60% ultimate skill damage. That's actually working pretty big time too, because one of the other big things that I did is I took Sever off of my bar. If I go over here to my skill tree, I took Sever off of my bar, and instead now I'm using Decrepify with the one that reduces cooldowns. Enemies hit while affected with Decrepify have 15% chance to reduce your active cooldowns by 1 second. So putting that on a big area of mobs, jumping in the middle, using Blood Surge, using my Golem with his Vulnerability Slam, all that stuff, my ultimate cooldowns come back with the right packs, can come back super fast. I've even had times where I'm able to get the ultimate off 2 times in a fight or something. And then Army of the Dead here. I've gone back to this as my ultimate. It's been working well for me, especially since my minions now have some survivability. I'm actually able to use the buffs with Army of the Dead and some of my gear to help out. So let's keep looking at what I got. So actually that's the legendary aspect that I have here on this site, is while Army of the Dead is active, minions gain 194% attack speed and 180% reduced damage. So that's been helping them out, really helping buff them up, and Army of the Dead is doing some pretty good damage. I got 2 skulls in here for life on kill. With my boots, this is actually upgraded from what I had. Same aspect with the skeletal mages with their blizzard spell, but I did get some extra stat boosts on here with dexterity. I think the last ones had, maybe it was the last ones had dexterity, so now I'm getting strength on it. Either way, it's this tri-stat thing here with the 45 dexterity, 45 strength, and then the 15 all stats. I'd rather have that dexterity to be like intelligence or something, but with the tri-stats, that was too good to pass up. So I'm using those Coldbringer's Adventurer's Boots. Doom Quizzes of the Protector. This is probably one of the next things that I need to get upgraded, because these are still sacred pants here, but I'm having a hard time giving these up because of the 3 potion capacity. That's a big deal for me. I've had a lot of other pants that have dropped that give me the corpse explosion bonuses, that even give me some stats that I like with intelligence or something, but I like this potion capacity, the +3 that I have, and right now at this point in time I'm not willing to give that up, so I'm waiting till I get some ancestrals that have that on it before I give these up. Otherwise, I got Corpse Explosion +3, which is good. 21% damage for 4 seconds after killing an elite. And then the 3 ranks for Blood Mist. I'm not using Blood Mist on this setup, but I'm not changing that affix just in case I do need it. Adventurer's Gloves of Frenzied Dead. I don't care about the Blight. These are actually some new gloves that I got. I don't care about the Blight, but what I have this for is because of the 57 strength, the 45 intelligence, and then 4 ranks of Blood Surge. So my Blood Surge now is like a 9 skill points invested into it. And then here I have, each time you're summoning minions damage an enemy, they gain 14% attack speed for 3 seconds up to 42%. So that I've been putting gear now that's buffing and helping my minions and making them a little bit stronger, a little more focused. Here I forgot to go over this one. This is still the barrier for damaging an elite enemy. Here I'm still using, this is another one that needs to change out eventually because this one's still a sacred. Bloodgetter's Archon Armor. Maximum number of skeletal warriors increased by 2. The big reason why I'm keeping these ones and haven't swapped out to an Ancestral yet is because I'm liking that 50 intelligence and the 323 maximum life. I haven't gotten an Ancestral that replaces those two affixes yet, so I'm hanging on to this until I find an Ancestral with intelligence and maximum life, and then I'll go ahead and bump that one up. And then I have a Sacred Legendary Helm, Doom Cask of the Embalmer. Consuming a corpse has 29% chance to spawn a Blood Orb. This Blood Orb ability is still becoming a staple of my build, and once I get some more level ups, I'm going to go ahead and go back to the Blood Begets Blood board as my next board on my Paragon board. But this has the 50 intelligence that I really like. I also like the 36 strength because that helps me a little bit with armor as well, so strength is also something that I want to go ahead and enhance. And then also I finally upgraded my jewelry as well, so I still have this Sacred Legendary Amulet, Vicious Choker, maximum number of skeleton mages increased by 3. I'm liking this because it has the 3 ranks of corpse skills, which helps out my corpse explosion, obviously, and then summoning skill damage helps out with the summons and the minions that I have, the Colea's Blood passive. Here I've upgraded this ring. This is still a sacred, but almost 700 item power, 695 plus 25 with the upgrades, shadow and poison resistance, 575 maximum life is the big reason why I'm picking this ring here. And then the critical strike chance, not a big deal. Obviously, skeletal warriors inherit 6.9% of thorns. I'm not even using thorns on this build, so that's not a big deal. That's something that I can swap out later on once I get a little bit more money for enchanting. But while at full life, Blood Orbs grant 19 essence, and then I'm using a skull in that for 220 armor. And then lastly, I have the Blood-Bathed Loop, another Sacred Legendary Ring, and this one needs to be upgraded. It's only at 614 item power plus 25 with upgrades. I actually do have a ring that I'm going to replace this with. It's in my stash right now, but I currently don't have the money to put the aspect on it, because this is where I've moved my Blood Surge Nova. Echoes after a short delay, dealing 62% less damage. So I'm still holding on to this until I get enough money to put the aspect on the other ring, which is an upgrade. So actually we can go into the stash real quick and take a look at that. Let's come here. So this is the ring that I'm going to be using it on. It has cold and fire resistance, which I do like. Overpower damage, which is good because I'm doing a bunch of overpower. 7.5 damage to crowd-controlled enemies. I do have the chill mages, so that helps out a little bit. Not a huge deal. 2% critical strike chance, not a huge deal. 9% damage to affected by shadow damage over time enemies. Those affixes aren't necessarily the best, and if I get a better ring in the meantime, then I'll roll with it. But what I'm liking about this one is the cold and fire resistance. Those are probably the elements that give me the most trouble right now, is cold, fire, and poison. So those are the resistances that I'm looking for, so I like the cold and the fire resistance on here. But I'm not married to this ring. If I get a better ring in the meantime, then I'll use that too, especially if I pick up some Ancestrals. So basically the whole premise of this build, the way that it's working now, is I drop my curse, I send my golem in for vulnerable, I shoot in, and with my blood surge going, is just like wrecking my cooldowns. So my iron golem gets to drop vulnerable. I have a lot better uptime on vulnerability, and I just blood surge and corpse explosion until I build up my ultimate, build down that cooldown so I can pop Army of the Dead, buff up all of my minions and their attacks, and have those corpses just shooting and exploding into the mobs and wiping them out. So definitely not a max efficiency build at this time. I still have some survivability issues. I still get CC'd easy, and I'm not using my blood mist, so that's definitely causing challenges. And I definitely cannot get through every single nightmare dungeon that I try, but I've been doing better. I've been finding more success. I've actually gotten through some or ancestral, I should say. Some of these ancestral dungeons I've been getting through. Some of them I've been even getting through with no death runs, which doesn't necessarily mean anything, but it's nice to know that I can get through these without dying. Some of them, though, I do acknowledge I don't know if this is cheesing, or just using the tools available to me. When I drop a town portal, come back, fill up my potions before I head back in and push forward, especially if I know there's like a big fight coming up or something. So that's a little bit about my build update. So as I said, on my Paragon board, I'm working towards my board gate here, and then the next one that I'm gonna go for, do I even have a chance to... I forget what I need to do to look at my... Oh, here we go, right here. Blood begets blood. So this is the one that I'm going to go to for my next gate, as this helps me with healing and regeneration and overpower and fortify and everything using the blood orbs. So that's definitely one that I want to go back to. I was using this as my main board, and I was going to use Cult Leader as a secondary one, but I kind of decided that I want to focus more on the summons and the minions and get them boosted up, and I have been noticing a difference. I know that there's a lot about the survivability of minions in this game, but it has been a definite noticeable benefit to using the Cult Leader board. Also probably eventually going to go into Bloodbath, and then depending on how many Paragon points I have left, I'm also interested in Wither and quite possibly the Hulking Monstrosity as well. So we'll see how much I can get into. I am going to do Blood Begets Blood is going to be my next board, so my next Paragon level is going to go right here, so I can get that board attachment. And then after that, I'm going to look at the boards, and from there I'm going to decide what's the most important thing to go to, whether it's going into this next board here, whether it's getting this rare node, whether it's coming up here and getting another board attachment so I can get my next board there. So it'll give me options and figure out what it is that I want to do. So I've been talking about it. Let's go ahead and take a look at this in action. So I'm going to go ahead and pop this Shift to Ruins sigil. So I do lightning damage, which I don't even do lightning damage, so that's kind of a waste. But the reason why I'm keeping it is because I think the negative aspects don't particularly hurt me, so we'll see. I'm either going to... This video is either going to end on a high note where I get to show off, hey, my build was successful, had a great time, or it's going to make my build look really bad when I fail it and can't get through it. So, but... Again, this isn't about me showing off meta builds, and this isn't a build guide for me to tell you, hey, this is an amazing build, this is what you should do. This is me documenting what I do, and we'll see how it works. So, the closest one is probably this one. Shift to Ruins is one of the worst ones to get to, I think. This build also does pretty good in Helltides. I don't know how it would do in PvP. I don't really know.
I'm not ready yet.
PvP, but it's never been my thing in Diablo.
I need time to do that.
All right, let's go.
I need more time. I'm out of essence. I'm not ready yet. Low on essence. Time to do that. I'm out of essence. I need time to do I need more time. I need more time. I'm out of essence. I need time to do that. I need more time. Time to do that.
I'm not exactly sure what got me on that one, but that shows the imperfection of my build. But you can see a little bit about how it does work too.
I need more time. I lack the required essence. Time to do that.
I'm not sure if that's considered good clear speed or not.
So
Yeah, I don't know if that's considered good kill speed or not, but as you can see, I do have to resummon my minions a little bit, but not a lot. I mean, it used to be I'd get into a fight and the minions are dead by, you know, getting looked at cross-eyed. But now they can stay up a little bit longer, which means that...
Out of essence. I'm not ready yet.
So when the minions can stay up a little bit longer, I'm getting crowd control for mages, I'm getting corpses for warriors, which corpses are damage and essence for me.
I'm out of essence.
Seeing through that whole thing, my minions actually stayed up. The summoning that I did at the end of the fight was just to bring my essence back up. It wasn't to bring my skeletons back. So again, I'm not sure. I don't know if they count as great clear speed. No way am I trying to say that this is like the optimal build or anything like that. It's just what I'm doing. It's been fun, and it's been a challenge. And it's taken me a while to get to a point where I'm actually clearing these.
I'm out of essence. I need time to do that.
But now that I can do it, like,
I'm not ready yet. I'm not ready yet.
Oopsie.
I need more time. I lack the required essence. I'm not ready yet. I need more time.
There you go. On the boss, I didn't even have to summon a minion once. I don't know what that death was. Probably some kind of environmental thing that I missed. So yeah, there you go. That was the build in action. Like I said, don't know if the clear speed is fast enough to be meta or anything like that. But again, that's not what I'm going for. It's a fun build for me that fits the way I like to play, and that's what it's really all about. So I am not citing this as an optimal build, but it's what I'm rolling with and it's what's been enjoyable for me. So I'm having a good time with it. I'm very happy that I can now finally start doing these Ancestral Nightmare dungeons. So that's the kind of content that I want to be doing in these these Nightmare dungeons. So it was very frustrating when I was having some trouble getting through them there for a little bit, but yeah, that's where I'm at. So I'm making progress. I'm moving in the right direction. So thank you for joining me on this journey, and I look forward to more as I continue this grind even higher. So until next time, Execution 99. Take care.